What's up, guys? I just woke up. I'm in a pretty good mood. And yeah, good morning. I hope everyone has a great day. I just wanted to talk a little bit to the camera and say thanks for everyone that's watching our videos so far. I mean, me and Tristan both know we're not going to blow up on YouTube overnight. Probably going to take 3, maybe 4 years. But yeah, we're ready for that. I'm filming right now to let you know just right now what my current goal is to go down to 175, maintain there for a bit, and then start slowly shooting up my calories for a bulk. I'm gonna weigh myself right now because I mean yesterday I was 183 I think in the morning, so let's see what I got now. So that's gonna be a new low weighing for me of 181.8. I'm actually really happy with that. I'm completely on track to where I'm going with this little cut. I don't really want to say cut because I'm not really in a deficit of calories. I'm just at the point where I was at such the peak of my bulk that since I lowered my calories to more of a maintenance level, I'm just losing weight by itself. So yeah, and I just want to say thanks because just having this channel is really motivating. I mean, I know I don't have a huge following yet, but just the fact that I have to make these videos, I mean, I've been really on task with the gym and everything. My food's on point. And yeah, I've just been probably never motivated like this before, and I just want to say thanks, guys. Alright, so this is gonna be my back day. I like to start off my back days with a heavy muscle building movement. So I'm gonna start this one off with a V-bar cable row. My tip on this is really to try to pull with your elbows, because if you're focusing on pulling with your elbows, you're not gonna be really contracting your biceps, because that's something you want to avoid while doing back. Because a lot of back movement, well, basically every back movement, the secondary muscle that's going to be working is your biceps because it's a pulling motion. And as much as you can, try to avoid using your biceps, because all that's going to do is take off the weight from your back, and in the end is not going to benefit you at all. Because I mean, if you want the biceps, train biceps. You're not going to get them from training back. So if you have to lower the weight in order to contract your back properly, I mean, by all means do it. And you're also going to see, it's fine to move in to get some momentum to pull, but you don't want to pass, I would say, 85 degrees when you're finishing the motion. So I'll pull in, but I won't pull to the point where I'm bending my back, because then that's just going to be too much momentum, and again, you're not going to be really contracting your lats as much as you can. And so yeah, this workout actually took about 3 hours. I don't understand like how we even stay at the gym for 3 hours all the time, but I mean, we really want for this to work, and we want to get bigger, obviously. So Tristan's actually with me in this video. He's filming every exercise, but the day preceding this, he did his 1 rep maxes. So honestly, he was like a fucking zombie today. He was just dead. He had no energy to work out, which is absolutely normal. I mean, obviously, he went all out yesterday. And yeah, so this is gonna be the Tbar row, and I really enjoy this exercise because it's another exercise where I feel like contracting the back, it's not that hard. I mean, you really don't have to focus that much. You just pull with the elbows, try not to use the biceps, and just really squeeze the bottom of your lats. Because if I wanted to hit the top of my back, I'd be using the wide part on the Tbar row, which is up top. but I'm really trying to work on the bottom of my lats to get that thickness in my back. And yeah, I shot a little flex right there. So yeah, this is the lat pull down. It's one of my favorite exercises because it's obviously going to give you a lot of width in your back. And the three first exercises I did, so cable row, T-bar row, and lat pull down, I'd recommend to somebody who's beginning because these are really fundamental for back growth. I mean, there's a lot of different types of exercises like isolation movements, and then there's the bigger movements where you're moving more weight. I would say those are the movements you would want to do to create a foundation of muscle before you start isolating the littler parts of each muscle. Because if you try to do a lot of isolation work at first, it might not actually benefit you at all because you don't really know how to contract each muscle properly yet. So even for this, like, I mean, I remember when I was starting a couple of years ago, I was probably honestly using a lot more biceps than I was lats. But then I realized it's really not about the weight that you're moving, it's about how you're moving it, and I mean what muscles you're moving to use it. And you'd be surprised how many people I see who are just, I mean, they're doing all kinds of weight, but I see them jerking and pulling and the form's just off. And I would say that it's pretty obvious that my back is probably my best body part. It's always been, I've always had wide lats, and as soon as I started training, the thickness just came really quick. I have very thick back. So yeah, the next exercise coming up is actually more of a advanced type of movement. I wouldn't recommend this is a lat pullover to anyone really beginning because I mean, if you don't know how to contract your lats properly while doing this exercise, you're probably going to be most likely just hitting a negative front raise for your shoulders, which is probably not going to do anything at all. So you can see I'm squeezing my lats really tight, and I'm really trying to just tear everything up because this is really going to work on, again, the bottom portion of your lats, because having a thick back is something that, I mean, every bodybuilder looks for, because it's one of the most, if not the most important body part that judges would look for in shows and everything like that. I don't think it's that hard to build a big back if you're really doing your movements properly, because there's honestly so much. It's like chess. There's so much different things and so many different angles to hit your back at. And if you're hitting your back at every angle and every part of every muscle in your back is being worked, it should just grow without that much effort. And this is an exercise that I haven't actually done in a while. These are rack pulls. And as you can see, like, there's no lacking happening out here. I got the ass sweat. I always got the biggest ass sweat in the gym because, you know, I bust my ass all day. And yeah, I think I hit this for 12 or 15 reps. I'm just really trying to burn out the back, because I mean, rack pulls is probably the best exercise for back thickness, because there's no other exercises that'll let you move this much weight for this many reps. I mean, if you're deadlifting, you're gonna be hitting this is basically half of the deadlift. This is the portion of the deadlift for your back, because the deadlift is split into two portions. The portion where you're picking it off the floor up until about you bring the bar to your knees, you're gonna be working more hamstrings and lower back. And as soon as you pass the knees for the lockout, it's really gonna be your back and your lats that are taking the charge. So that's really gonna help build that thickness that everyone's looking for. Next, you're gonna see me doing some bicep curls on a seated bench. The reason I'm doing you're gonna see all of my bicep exercises, I'm usually immobile, so I'm gonna be sitting down, or the next one I'm gonna be on top of a bench, is because I hurt my left wrist flexor, and I basically can't move. I can't pick up that much weight for my biceps, or it'll really hurt. The way I heard it was, I think I tried curling 120 pounds. I mean, not on each arm, but I took a bar and I loaded it up with the weight. So I really didn't, I got it for about 5 reps, I remember, and after that I put it down and I realized that I had tore something, and I got it looked at and it was an injury in my wrist flexor. And obviously the physio or the doctor is going to tell you to stop loading the bicep, to stop loading the injury in any way so it'll heal faster. But the way I look at it is, you know, I can't just stop, especially that I'm starting the YouTube channel, because this happened a week prior. So I'm gonna keep the same intensity, but I'm just gonna make it harder for myself by being immobile, by making sure there's absolutely no swing, no momentum, which is actually gonna reduce the weight substantially. I mean, I'm curling a 35 over here and I'm having a rough time. I mean, I'm hitting it for a lot of reps, obviously, but yeah, I'm just gonna try to keep the same intensity, but I'm gonna higher the rep range, and I'm gonna make it so the exercise itself is harder than, example, a standing curl. A standing curl, you're obviously gonna be using some sort of momentum, whether it be your elbows moving, whether it be a back swing. I mean, and when you have your arms in an immobile position, you're really gonna remove all of that. So like right here, I mean, I have a 5 pound on each side, same thing, but this is a reverse curl. My tip on this is keeping the elbows tight. I mean, they're gonna want to flare. I think the more they flare, the more you're gonna be working forearms, and if you keep them tight, you're gonna be actually working the side of your bicep, the brachialis, which is a very aesthetic muscle that you're gonna see when you get lower in body fat percentage. So here again, I mean, I'm not moving that much weight, and I honestly don't mind this because I leave my ego at home when I go to the gym. I learned to do that. I learned that it's really not about the weight that you're moving. It's about how you're moving it, what muscles you're using to move it. Are you hitting the targeted muscle, or are you only half hitting that muscle because you're swinging and you're jerking? I'm really trying to stop all of those momentum type movements and really make it that it's only the bicep working, because I feel like that was my weakness, and that's why my arms are not up to par with the rest of my body. Well, my biceps, and specifically my triceps are fine in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys off on that note. Leave the ego at home, do your best, and it doesn't matter about the way you move, it matters about how you're moving it.